So Armytek have just released a new version of their flagship long-range searchlight. This is the Barracuda Pro Max. And I haven't reviewed any of the previous models before, but I've been pretty impressed with anything Armytek have sent so far. So we're going to put this one up to the test and see if it's any good. So in terms of output, this light produces 2,800 lumens with the SFT70, a 1 kilometer beam, pretty impressive, and it achieves that through this gigantic reflector in here. And this light is designed for professional use, so things like search and rescue, hunting, tactical operations. It's incredibly tough and has a 25-meter impact resistance. Never seen that on any other flashlight before, and it can handle being submerged in water for 5 hours at 25 meters. So a quick little demonstration of how it works. You've got this tactical tail switch on the back. So half press gives you a momentary mode, full press, light switches on, and I've got it switched on to memorize turbo at the moment. Okay, but you can also press the side switch to go into a few other modes there as well. There is a strobe mode in there that you can program in, and there's also a moonlight mode. But yeah, pretty simple. So this is the box that you get with the Barracuda Pro Max. Has some specifications here. If you want to pause the video, take a look. That's the front of it. Pretty tough little box, and you can see that's where the light goes. Bit of padding over there on the top as well. This is the battery that Armytek include with the flashlight, 21700 cell, 5000 milliamp hours. So decent capacity there. It's a flat top cell, and it does take other cells as well, like button top cells, some slightly longer cells. Just want to watch out because you don't want a too long cell in there. You see the spring on the back is pretty chunky. Sometimes that can sort of scratch up or ding the back of some longer batteries. There are some other accessories here as well. So this is an 18650 or CR123 battery adapter. So yeah, this light also obviously takes those to other cells. It's great that it takes CR123 cells as well in an emergency. You've got a magnetic charging cable here, and so that actually just attaches directly on the back of the flashlight like this. And it has short circuit protection, so you don't have to worry about that. There is also a lanyard that's included. I don't really use these personally, and a couple of spare O-rings. Plus, you get this cool little holster here. Okay, so here is the Armytek Barracuda Pro Max next to a few other flashlights that I own. These are all Convoy flashlights, and this is the Convoy L21B. It's almost the same size as the L21B. As you can see, it's a little bit longer due to that tactical switch there on the back. It's also chunkier around the pill, around the head too. You've got more of these thermal cutouts, heat dissipation cutouts. To the right here, I've got my Convoy L8, really chunky flashlight. As you can see, it's not as large for sure. It's almost as long, but yeah, I'd say it's more approximating the size of the L21B. And there's my Convoy M21B next to it as well. Okay, so here is a little close-up look of the Armytek Barracuda Pro Max. And dimensions are 180 millimeters in length, 64 millimeter head diameter, and a 25 millimeter body diameter. Weighs 325 grams with the battery, and it's got a military style aluminium design. I think it looks really cool, and the overall construction quality is impeccable, as always with Armytek. I think they're great with attention to detail and just producing high quality flashlights. And it's got this matte black chalky anodizing. It's really grippy. It's probably the grippiest anodizing that I've ever seen on a flashlight. It's one of my favorites, and it remains grippy even under water. Here you can see on the head there's a ton of cooling fins, and this is really important for high-powered flashlights in order to dissipate heat. And, you know, like I mentioned before, IP68 rated, so waterproof to 25 meters and can withstand drops from the same height. So it's Definitely a tool designed for the toughest conditions. You even get a 10-year warranty with this thing. So you've got this dual stage switch here on the back, like I demonstrated at the start of the video. You've got a side switch, and the tail switch is really cool because it's like a tactical switch. You can always get into the mode either that you left in memory, or you can get it straight into turbo. I'll show you how to do that later through the UI. And the cool thing is that both of these switches are almost, they're almost silent. The magnetic port here in the back is pretty handy because you don't need to take the battery out when you need to charge it. You can mechanically lock the light by just unscrewing the tail. Overall, I think the light is well balanced, feels ergonomic, especially with this tactical ring here on the back, and also a belt clip. These don't come attached to the light initially, so I just attach them because that's my usual config. And yeah, the tactile switch really helps to the light to stay put in your hand so that it doesn't kind of move around, that kind of thing. And yeah, you've got that chunky spring under the head and the tail of the flashlight, so that when you drop the flashlight, the battery's not going to smack into the driver and cause any damage. Under the head, you can see here the SFT70 sitting at the bottom. It's a white gasket, perfectly centered, and smooth reflector, large reflector, and anti-reflective glass. The bezel is made of darkened stainless steel, so it doesn't reflect back any light, and makes it quite tough as well. So if you drop it on the head, it's going to provide some protection. All right, so I want to go through the UI. Now, in order to activate momentary mode, just half press. Now, I've got this thing on memory mode at the moment, but we can turn that off. I'll show you how to do that in a moment. But yeah, otherwise it just goes into that memory mode that you've selected. Full press to turn on, and this is where you can then select the 3 modes. So there's a main 1, main 2, and the turbo mode 2800 lumens. The main 2 mode is 630 lumens. Okay, so say if I want it on turbo like that, I can leave it, turn it off, and when you half press or full press, it's always going to go into turbo. Now, there is a hidden moonlight mode, so if you press the side switch and then press the tail switch, there you go, got a nice moonlight mode. Can come in handy at nighttime if you just need to use the light for general purpose or just some close quarters work. And also what you can do is that you can turn the flashlight on. I'll just put it into moonlight mode so it doesn't blind me. And then you can press and hold this switch here for 5 seconds. Okay, and this is going to add the strobe back in. Okay, so it flashed once, so you hold that switch for 5 seconds. Now when you turn off and turn back on, okay, if you double press that tail switch really quick, it's going to go straight into strobe. And I think this is a great feature because you still have access to turbo, okay, or high, whatever mode that you've left in memory. But in an emergency situation, when maybe you're just mashing that button really quickly like that, it's always going to go into strobe there. So that's pretty handy. And what we can do as well, if you press the side switch and the back, again, go into moonlight mode because I don't want to blind myself, press and hold that button down for 10 seconds. So let's try it. And when it hits 5 seconds, it's going to blink once. Okay, it blinked once, and now we wait another 5 seconds. It should blink twice. Okay, there we go. It's blinked twice, and you take your hand off the button. Now what that does is it makes sure that it's always going to start in turbo. So if I turn on the flashlight and I put it onto this like main 1 mode, turn off, turn back on, it goes straight into turbo no matter what. So yeah, I think that's a really cool feature. Just if you're using this for tactical purposes, if you need it to always start onto turbo, that's yeah, those two sort of UI options in there, fantastic. All right, so I ran a bunch of ceiling bounce tests with the Armytek Barracuda Pro Max, and you can see here on the turbo mode, starts out at 100%. And at the 2.5 minute mark, you can see there is a step down. So you get about 2.5 minutes of runtime between 95 and 100% of output. Pretty impressive. That's achievable by just the larger size, larger heatsink of this flashlight. You can see there it drops to around 30 or so percent, maybe 30, 35%. And by the 8 minute mark, it steps up very slightly to almost 40%. I ran a second ceiling bounce test here on the main 2 mode, and I didn't see any drop in output through this test. I ran some tests with my Opal Lightmaster Pro, and you can see here the Armytek Barracuda Pro Max actually exceeded its throw specifications. So I got 1049 meters on turbo. CRI was between 67 and 70, and CCT was between 5,700 and 6,500. Some considerations if you're thinking about getting the Armytek Barracuda Pro Max. The first consideration is this is a highly focused flashlight. It's a long range flashlight, so don't expect to have a kind of really wide, floody beam. Okay, this is, it's a 1 kilometer, produces a 1 kilometer beam. And the second consideration, of course, is portability. So it is larger, it's heavier than typical flashlights out there. It's around the same size as my Convoy L21B. So yeah, don't expect to really EDC this one. It's good that Armytek include this holster though. You can pop it onto your belt, especially if you work in security or law enforcement or just emergency services. That's really going to come in handy. And yeah, for these high performance flashlights, you really do need a larger heatsink if you want any sustained output, usable sustainable output on the high or the turbo mode, because otherwise those smaller flashlights that have super high output, they tend to overheat and become pretty much unbearable to hold. The third consideration is the UI. Now, I really think that jump between main modes, so main 2, which was 630 lumens, and the turbo, I think the light could easily handle 1,000 lumens in the main 2 mode instead. And I also really wish that there was some kind of separate battery indicator light. And yeah, they've probably done that just to make sure that it holds up in terms of those water resistance ratings, 25 meter water resistance ratings. And yeah, there is also a low voltage warning light. The light will start flashing when the battery hits 25%. Overall, the Armytek Barracuda Pro Max is a powerhouse, and it's perfect if you're looking for a reliable, high-performance flashlight. I was really impressed by the exceptional throw, robust build, and user-friendly interface that you can just figure out without the manual. And I think this would be a top choice for search and rescue, hunting, tactical operations, or if you're just looking for a really tough long-range flashlight. So if you're interested in getting one of these, check out the link in the video description. If you have any questions as well, let me know down below in the comments and I'll get back to you. If you found this video helpful, do me a favor, click the like button, share it with a friend who might be interested. Just helps me to get the video out to more people. And if you want to see more flashlight reviews and keep up to date with the latest flashlight news, make sure you subscribe. Armytek Barracuda Pro Max, and this is on the turbo mode. It's a perfectly focused beam. Reaches all the way through to the back. Just manually focusing. Look at that. Perfect. Got a really large hotspot, and you can see the spill as well. And it starts probably about 7 to 8 feet ahead of me. And let's go down through some of the other modes as well. So that's the main 1, main 2. The main 2 is pretty solid too. It's reaching all the way through to the back of this lake. And turbo. Off. There's a little bit of ambient light in the sky. You see through the water as well. Jeez. Armytek Barracuda Pro Max. And this is like a bridge here.
see pretty clearly under this bridge with the beam all the way up into the power lines as well. It doesn't feel too hot. Like maybe the top of the light is starting to get maybe more than warm, but most of the heat is dissipated from the head of the light very effectively. Oh, there's something there, a little reflective material. And just go to main 1, main 2. Let's see if the moonlight mode's any. Oh, I don't think there is. Yeah, can't really see much the moonlight mode, but it's okay. I mean, for very close up work, it's actually better than nothing. Alright, we'll go for a little walk. Armytek Barracuda Pro Max, and I'm on this I guess larger field here. The light's reaching all the way down to the end like really easily, and there's like a ton of spill as well. Up a bit closer, pretty big hot spot, like a perfect sort of beam. There might be an animal there. That's something reflecting back at me there. Who knows? See people walking by as well, so I don't want to shine that light too close to the right hand side. But yeah, you get the picture. And what I'll do also is compare it to another light that I have on me. This is the Crossfire T30R, and it is a laser excited phosphor flashlight that also reaches just over 1 kilometer, and you can see the difference between the LEP and the LED. I mean, there's just so much more light, whereas with the LEP you've got like one. Oh, there's an animal there through the middle of the field. You see, it just spotted it there. His eyes reflecting back. Could be a rabbit, maybe. I'll go for a little walk, but before I do, I'll just show you the different modes. You've got main 1, main 2, which is enough, and main 3.